Hello and welcome to week one of LDR 625 Resource Management. In week one, we're going to introduce both what is a polarity and what is polarity management, and then an introduction to project management and managing projects. Our readings for this week are the first three chapters of polarity management and the first three chapters of project management for dummies. There are also two short sections, sections D and E, at the back of the polarity management book. These shorter sections are more case study reflection type sections in polarity management to help you think deeper about very specific topics. Additionally, there is a polarity management video presented by the author of the book in week one for you to watch. It is a rather long video. The second half of that video is part of week two. You can definitely watch that in stages. There's no reason you would have to watch that all in one sitting. So our activities for this week are to complete the assigned readings, watch the video, complete your student introduction discussion, complete the polarity management discussion, and then complete the polarity map and project resources short paper. So this paper is not a resource or is not a research paper. You do not have to follow strict APA formatting. It's a fairly relaxed paper. It's a draft. It's a list of, you want to make a polarity map and a list of potential project resources for your project. So what is a project? So a project always has three components: a specific scope, a schedule, and required resources. What is the scope of your project? What are you trying to do? Is it a very large project? Is it a small project that just affects a small group of people? Or are you trying to get active change management within an organization where the project is going to require a lot more people in your organization? What is the schedule for your project? Is it something that can be completed in a month? Or is it something that is going to take a year? And then what are your required resources? Thinking about the things that you need to do the project. Now, sometimes this is a real struggle where we think, well, I'm the one implementing the project, so I'm the required resource. You need to think about, what other people do you need? Do you need to ask other people questions? Do you need volunteers? So remember that volunteer and volunteer hours are a resource. Um, do you need supplies, equipment, human resources, all of these things that you have to think about? What do I need? Do I need to have regular meetings? Am I going to do virtual meetings, or do I need a meeting space? So thinking loosely about what potential resources we could need as a project. So we're going to talk about some of these principles of project management. The first principle being stewardship and leadership. Loosely defined, stewardship is just the job of supervising and taking care of something. It means being responsible for something. So you are responsible for your day-to-day duties in your job. Example, you are a steward of the resources that you use at work, and you are also a steward of resources within a project. Leadership. So leadership is very different from management. Projects do require management. They require regular schedules. They require regular thinking about task management, assigning duties. This is not leadership, this is management. So then thinking about leadership and how do we support our team? How do we help them become better team members? How do we ourselves, what's our leadership style? Are we very task oriented? Are we servant leaders where we're going to help them by supporting them? So thinking about our own style of leadership and how that affects how we manage projects. The stakeholders of the projects, both internal and external. So who is part of this project? Who is impacted by this project? Delivery value and quality. What is the end goal? And then what are the complexities, opportunities, and threats? What are the things that could potentially derail this project? What are the things that could pause this project? Thinking about that, what could happen within your organization or within your life? And the longer a project, the more opportunities and threats that exist within that project. Adaptability and resilience. How are you going to adapt to those opportunities and threats? How are you going to push through and still complete this project when there is adversary, when there is resistance to change? How are you going to basically roll with the punches? How are you going to continue to work even when things aren't going well? And rearranging schedules is an example of adaptability. And we're going to talk about a lot of these things through the next 8 weeks. And then thinking holistically about change management. So I know you've already had one class in change management, and so we're not going to get really deep into change management theory, but using that change management theory from your previous class to think about how that impacts your project. Thinking about how your project impacts the entire organization and how the organization impacts your project and your ability to complete that project. So I'm looking forward to a great first week. Have a great week, everyone.